Alright, so this is Chaos Break. It's a sequel to an arcade game that's kind of like Resident Evil, but more of a boss rush. Also, it's put on easy. The only thing that easy changes is puzzle solutions. Hit time is on character select. But this is more Resident Evil clone instead of boss rush. Also, the voice acting doesn't work for some reason. My totally legit copy. Who likes newspaper puzzles? Because we're gonna be doing some. The voice acting is the best part of this, but it stopped working for me for some reason. Start in a warehouse, you just leave right away. And Mituki's voice actress especially sounds like she just wants her paycheck and she wants to go home. And it's very obvious in her voice acting. Oh yeah, you have a roll, which does get used. There's a giant enemy worm. Mituki slides across the floor on her face, as one does. Yeah, totally not Resident Evil. Also, her weapons are gun tonfas. Yep, giant worm. Also, what's his face back there can't die. I tried to get him killed. I stood in this room for like 30 minutes once, and he did not die. Oh yeah, there's also no way to control the camera in this. It moves on its own. It's supposed to stay behind you the entire time. It does not. It's running animation. And here is the only solution to a puzzle that you can guess without having to pick up a note. All the other puzzles are mandatory, and they must be completely solved. Also, you can ignore most enemies in this game. They all have like very long wind-ups on their attacks. And they do basically no damage. I guess that's because it's on easy, but I played this on normal the first time. And I didn't really notice a difference in enemy damage. Stop in here. I'm going to grab this first aid kit. As I do, because it's a marathon. And this heart medicine. And a third cutscene for the robots because, they're just that great. Thank you for the good luck. I'll need it. Especially after how bad Fire Start went. Use a napalm. Sometimes one of them runs off. And to the second floor basement. These guys you run by their big arm. Because their little arm there is the grabby one. And yes, like you can just walk through them sometimes. See, I got grabbed. I went the wrong way. Sometimes you get knocked down, sometimes you don't. Well, I almost got grabbed the third time. Grab another napalm, this key card. And then we backtrack. Go to the cafeteria. That worm, the worm is back. Epic boss battle. Now I can just leave. You actually do fight the worm in the good percent, or the good ending run, but this is any percent. I kind of forget how to do the good ending run. Also, the good ending run has an escort quest, and that's just kill these enemies, make sure they actually die, because you have to wait for them to disappear. And I wasn't kidding when I said mandatory Sudoku puzzle in my submission for this. This is a bad one too. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. Let's see. I might actually need help here, chat. What do I do? I don't know. That can't be 2, because that's 2. Yeah, this is why my estimate for this was an hour. All because of this puzzle. Alright, we got it. 65452. The rest of the run should be fine. There's a crossword puzzle later, but that's just going and finding names and then filling in the puzzle. It's not like go do an actual crossword puzzle. That puzzle, though, can waste 2 minutes because one of the names you have to backtrack for if you have to go get it. I got grabbed again. Yep, they really went all out for the puzzles in this. Sudoku and a crossword puzzle. And in Good Ending, there's math puzzles. And a sonar puzzle. You also get to play Operation in a bit. Don't touch the sides. That's not the right tool. Yeah, I had some brownies earlier, and the sides are indeed the best part. So that enemy's been spawning over there recently, and he really should not. So give her this heart drug that we picked up earlier. She gives us a key card. And now we have to go find name tags. So there's a very bad glitch in this room. I guess it's a glitch, I don't know. But if you roll into the enemies in this room, you die, even at full health. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to walk around them. But I learned that the hard way when I was routing this. Like, oh, I'll just roll. I'll just roll and grab the name tag. And then when Mituki stood up, she died. Also, those enemies will play dead. Alright, it's a code chart. Totally not a crossword puzzle. Yeah, we have to go backtrack. Waste 2 minutes backtracking on a puzzle. That's like a 1 in 4 chance of getting the good solution. Which is part of the reason I don't run this anymore. But I did do the first game in the series. And a lot of people haven't seen this game, so I thought, why not get both Chaos games in a marathon. So now we have to backtrack all the way to the upper floor. Because Mituki can't guess one letter in a crossword puzzle, and that would be cheating. We have to get the full solution. Also, you don't have iframes going through doors. You can take damage. The game just stops whenever you open a door. I had to wear him in the cafeteria. Hit me like 3 or 4 times when I went through a door to leave, but that hasn't happened in a while. Yeah, green blood. It's always good. Also, this does look really good for PlayStation 1. I mean, there's not a lot of models on screen, but still, it does look really good for PlayStation 1. Like early, super early PlayStation 2, maybe. This also only came out in Europe. And I think maybe Japan, so if you've never heard of it, that's probably why. It's also, you know, rather obscure anyway. So we had to go upstairs to get this name. Because we need the full word. Mituki won't guess the missing letter. Even if you know the solution, because it's, you know, it's obviously monster. But the game won't let you put in monster until you fill out the puzzle sheet. I think monster is also the worst word to get. So we got bad Sudoku and the worst crossword puzzle. Now the level 4 doors are open and we can go into the other basement. I don't know, she might be. She does kind of kick all the monsters though. Also, her outfit. Very standard tactical issue gear here with the booty shorts. So all the enemies have an introduction cutscene, and like none of the enemies matter. You can just run by most of them. Sometimes you have to kill enemies because you have to do stuff in that room. You know, only tactical amounts of butt. Yeah, that should kill that one. Now I have to pick up one of these containers. Walk all the way back to Rachel with this, and if we get hit, we drop the container and it breaks. Then we have to come get another one. And if we mess up the operation minigame, we have to come get another one. This part's usually not so bad, you can just hold up. And because enemies have such a long wind up on their attacks, you can just walk forward and not get hit there. This upcoming room though, like I have a strat for it, but I've gotten hit sometimes. If I do get hit, I'll just kill the enemies and come back. I also had him hit me, but hopefully I get to the door. Alright, we're good. Alright, gore warning. There's like guts coming up, so, you know, look away for a couple of minutes if you do not like that. The voice acting part in this part's pretty good too, but again, it broke for whatever reason. I don't know why. I tried to fix it, but I couldn't find anything. You have to wait for Rachel's line to finish. And if we touch the sides, the monster screams. And I think you can only damage the monster like 4 or 5 times. There's the guts. These first parts aren't so bad. You got the dots that are fairly large. You have to cut out all the organs. Yep, surgery, medic, trauma center, alien edition. So if you want the record for this, you have to do this part really fast. And that's stressful. Because if you screw up and you kill the alien, then you have to go get another one and your run's over. Someone actually took my record for at least for this category, which is cool. It's nice to have people run the games you route. Yep, cutting out its organs is fine as long as you follow the dotted lines, because that's how it works. Also, its heart is still beating after, being cut out. Oh, there we go. I damaged the alien. Then we just throw the membrane on the floor, and it starts making this awful noise. So now we have to follow its dotted line, but there's also the timing gimmick. What you're supposed to do with this is make a drug to kill the aliens because they're, I don't know, space invaders and mad science gone wrong. Something like that. Now we inject Rachel. It's time for the best part of the run. We have 5 minutes to go make this. Alright, I'll see you in 5 minutes, chat. But yeah, more waiting. Standing here for 5 minutes. It's not that it's broken, it's that you have to go and make the solution and then inject Rachel and then draw her blood for the anti-monster MacGuffin. But if you don't do it in time, Rachel dies. And that's what we're waiting on. Yep, 3 minutes. I guess we could talk about this game and the first game. I learned about the first game watching Macaw stream it. It's like, oh, this looks cool. I want to learn this, so I spent time learning the first game for 1cc. And that's a very marathon unsafe game. I had it in Coin-Op Classic last year and lost it where I thought I would at the end of the run because there's a room full of robots that spam missiles. And yeah, this is the bad ending run. And the first game is it's a 1 life game, and you don't get health back between stages. So I had less than optimal health going into the robot room and lost a run there. It's like, okay, this game is neat. And then I learned that it had a sequel that only came out on PlayStation in Europe. It's like, oh, that sounds neat. I'll check that out. So I found a copy. Totally legit copy, I'm sure. Did a casual playthrough and then like almost immediately started routing it. And now there's a leaderboard for it on speedrun.com, and someone actually learned the Mituki any percent run. Yeah, this is a PlayStation 1 game. It looks really good for PlayStation 1. Also, we were talking about Mituki's walk cycle earlier, and look at this. That's the start of the walk cycle. Also, the run for the first game is an arcade game, but the run for that was also done with Mituki, and she has pink hair in the first game, but they made it this totally not Jill Valentine look for this one. But the run in the first game is something like 24 minutes with Mituki. And then someone submitted a run with another character that was 9 minutes faster. So if done with that character, the first game's fairly short to learn. It's still difficult because it is a 1 life game and you have to do very set things. But anyway, Rachel's dead. Now we can continue the run. We have to go tell Jack, I guess his name is, or John, I don't remember, that we messed up and we should leave. So all the way back to the comms room. Yeah, this would be a better game if the enemies were actually kind of dangerous and, you know, if they actually did good puzzles and not Sudoku and crossword. These enemies have so much wind up on their attacks. Except maybe the roaches and the rats. But we'll get to the rats in a second, and the roaches. Oh, so they really like this enemy. It ends up replacing most of them. The robots were way more dangerous than hermit crabs, I guess. I'm not entirely sure what they're supposed to be, but they kind of look like hermit crabs. Also, the game, if you read the files, spends like most of the game hyping up this giant rat. This horrible giant rat monster. And how dangerous it is. And it's in this room. Not this room. Getting a bit ahead of myself here. Also, you can roll upstairs. Yeah, I guess they're horseshoe crabs. That's the closest thing I can think of. Anyway, here's the rat. What actually followed me this time? Usually it gets stuck on the wall. Oh, it just left. It got bored. You know, the game spends like almost all of its computer files hyping up that giant rat in some way or another. The horseshoe crab asterisk monsters tend to show up in groups. Also, the robots are back, but they can't shoot through the fence, so they don't really do anything. We have to search. There's a giant rat again. It's two of them this time. Well, you know, you just run. Like most enemies, you just ignore it. So this is a good camera angle. You can't see what's coming at you. Here's the electro roaches. I don't know if we have to save this guy, but it's definitely faster. I don't remember if you have to escort him back to the comms room in Good Ending, but I wouldn't be surprised. I know Rick, the other character for his Good Ending run, has 3 escort quests. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that health kit. And the roaches are probably the most dangerous enemy just because, well, they still have a wind up on their attack, but it lasts for a while and they charge. And when they're in groups like that, it gets hard to dodge them. Everything else you can just run by. Besides the puzzles, this is a pretty chill run, honestly. The game gives you more than enough ammo than you needed to start. You see I have 180 left, and I started with 200. You also start with 3 napalm, pick up another one. And I used to not even do that, but the only thing that really feels like you need to pick up for weapons is the search, just to make that room faster. You know, it's not a hard game. Even in the good ending runs, it's not difficult. The final boss is kind of bullet spongy and does a lot of damage, but you can just, you know, stockpile resources throughout the game because the rest of the game is so easy. Use the system disk, kick the computer on accident. Oh look, it's self-destruct. Now we have to leave. And here's where Good Ending and any percent branch off. If you don't save Rachel and get the magic elixir, then you just have to leave. The self-destruct starts and all that. If you save Rachel though, then you have what you need to stop the virus, the space virus, mad science gone wrong. So you head into basement 5, do some math puzzles, fight the giant worm, and then fight the final boss. Of course, there are some dangerous enemies in basement 5 because they jump around a lot, kind of like how the roaches were charging, and they're in really cramped rooms. But again, by that point, you can have so many health kits and sodas that you can just face tank everything. We are about done. Just have to go to the elevator where we started. guess it's a good thing I picked up and used that health kit, as the roaches have actually done a good chunk of damage. I hadn't gotten stun locked by them at least. This is the last time we see the giant rats. Say bye to the rats. Bye, rats. That's time. That is time. There'll be some voice acting in the final cutscene at least, but also look at the bottom left of the screen near the end of this cutscene. You can see Mituki. I guess because they needed somewhere to stick her character model and didn't know where. Yep, GG. Hello, Gundam. At least you get to see the ending, I guess. There's the giant worm. It destroys the helicopter. There's Mituki. Thank you for the GGs. It's too bad Fire Start was Fire Start, but I kind of expected that to go poorly. Let's see what our time is. 37:01 in-game time. That's pretty bad. Record's like 31:30 for in-game time now. But we did get bad Sudoku puzzle and the worst crossword puzzle. So that's going to be it for me. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the runs and enjoy the rest of the marathon.